Hey guys, the Langbanger here. Got a video talking about the new game, Kaijudo. Kaijudo came out last spring or summer, I can't exactly remember when. Well anyways, Wizards has revamped this game. And why did I say revamped? It is Duel Masters remade. So that's really interesting. So for anyone who used to like Duel Masters, I mean, that may be a reason alone to pick up this game and give it a go. Now, with Wizards back in this game, I actually have some confidence that this game will turn into something. I guess time will tell. But in the meantime, they just announced organized play. That's really interesting. That's part of the reason why I decided to do a video. Try and get more people to get into this game. It's really fun. It's a less complicated version of Magic the Gathering. Not saying Magic the Gathering is really complicated, but what's cool with this game is each player has 5 shields, and whoever loses all their shields first loses. Now, as you lose your shields, those shields go to your hand, not your discard pile. So that's really interesting. So as you're getting beat in the face, you're actually going to be getting more cards in your hand to do stuff with. So that's really interesting. As I said, you can't play cards on your opponent's turn. That's very, very important. So, now let's go into how you actually play the game. So, let's take my blue-purple deck. There's 5 colors, by the way. You can take any card that you have in your hand and put it in your mana zone. So we're going to play that, a purple card, okay? And then let's say it's my opponent's turn. Okay, cool. Bang. Back to my turn. I'm now going to play a blue card in my mana zone. Now here's where things get different from Magic the Gathering. With Magic the Gathering, you have to match up your mana with what you're about to bring out. You do to an extent in Kaijudo, but just by having 1 blue and 1 purple, now for the whole entire rest of the game, I can now drop any blue or purple card, and you don't need that amount of cards. And what I mean by that, I have a blue and purple, I tap both, and I bring out a blue card. So, just by having 1 blue in there, I was able to fulfill the cost to bring this card out. So that's really interesting. As you can see, cost 2, I have a blue and purple, boom, perfect. Let's say it's my opponent's turn again, they play a card, pass. Next, I'll drop that. Doesn't matter what you drop in your mana zone. You have 2 purple, 1 blue, tap all 3, and now you play this card. Simple as that, costs 3. Now, how does attacking work in this game? Let's say, for example, I have this guy and this guy. This guy's a 1-drop, 3,000 power, 1,000. Now, as you'll notice, there's 1 number on the card. In Magic the Gathering, you'll see 2. So, what happens here, while the creatures battle, if they can, and I'm going to get into that in a second, if the numbers are the same, they both go. If a number is higher than the other one, the lower one goes to the discard pile. So this is 3,000, this is 1,000. That swings. But here's the kicker. For this thing to be able to block that, this needs to have the ability blocker. So, just by reading your cards, you'll pretty much be able to figure out what exactly does what, when you can play stuff, and things like that. Okay? So this swings in. Okay, it breaks one of my shields. This guy does not have blocker. Okay, so now my turn. Now I'm on this end. I can swing and hit a shield, or the only way for a creature to hit another creature direct on, besides a creature blocking, is if it's in its tap position. So, if for whatever reason I wanted to swing, I could either hit now this creature that's tapped out, or break one of their shields. I mean, obviously this would lose the battle, because that only has 3,000, this has 1,000, but, you know, simple as that. Another thing to keep in mind is creatures have summoning sickness. You cannot attack or do anything with them the first turn they come out. So, that's something really important to keep in mind. I mean, there are some abilities, if it says when this card hits the battlefield, draw a card, you know, you'll be able to do that. But, you know, some other sort of effect, you're going to have to wait. Trying to think of what else. As I said, each person has 5 shields, and as they go in, boom, hits a shield, hits a shield. All shields go to the hand as they're, getting struck. Gives you more cards to use, utilize, whatever. They have begun to release cards that will actually add shields back, so that's something really important to keep in mind. They're on their 3rd set now. I'm trying to think of what else. Like I said, just by reading your cards, you'll be able to figure out what everything does. I mean, there's so many different types of cards out there. As I said, blocker. There's also stuff like hungry, and it says this card attacks each turn if able. So you have to hit with it. There's also cards that have fast attack, which means they can attack the turn they come out. So it's similar to haste in Magic the Gathering. There's cards that have double breaker, which means when it hits your opponent for a shield, it takes 2 instead. There's triple breaker, so it hits 3 instead. So that's why it's actually kind of cool that they're releasing cards that give shields back, because things could start to get crazy, and as you can't play cards on your opponent's turn, you could be a sitting duck, or, who knows. So that's why there's a whole lot of strategy. It's like, do you want to use a bunch of blockers? Do you want to use a bunch of just beaters that you can drop quickly and try and burn your opponent out fast? As I said, each person 5 shields, so these games will go very, very quickly. It's a best of 3. Whoever loses their shields first loses, and that's pretty much, summing up the game. At the very least, if you guys want to go to a Walmart or Target, you can buy starter decks. They're like $10. It'll have a little mini rule book in it. You have to use 40 cards. As for the shields, sorry, I forgot to mention this. You take 5 cards off the top of your deck to start off, and you put it just, at the back of your mat, and then, as you lose them, whatever. Each player starts with 5 cards. If you win the dice roll or coin flip, you'll draw an additional card, so then you'll have 6. And I think that's pretty much it. Hopefully I didn't forget anything for you. If you guys have any questions on how anything works, please let me know. I too am a beginner, but as I said, it's a less complicated Magic the Gathering, so everyone should be able to catch on quickly. I haven't really invested too much into the game, to be honest. I've bought a bunch of starter decks, a few packs, singles. I pretty much have just commons and uncommons. I'm kind of scared to invest too heavily in the game. I mean, I have some rares too, but once they announce organized play, I'm really going to get into this game. There's events you can go to throughout the US eventually, and if you win that event, you'll get a paid flight to their nationals, so that's really cool. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys think of this game, and as I said, any questions, please hit me up. Also, be prepared to see a bunch of videos on Kaijudo coming up quite soon. So if you guys are interested in that, please subscribe. Even if you guys aren't, subscribe anyway. Thanks guys. Peace.